Hello, I'm Stephanie Rayner, and I'm going to do my Three Worlds presentation on chapter 5 in Matthew, and probably down to 13, verse 13. This is my Halloween hat. Halloween's around the corner. This is when Jesus addressed the crowds and gave the blessings. He is with his disciples. So historically, I would think that some of this is, number one, Jesus sat when he just addressed the crowd. Teachers in those days sat when they addressed the crowd and they taught rabbis. That's pretty historical. In chapter 13, he mentions the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. Salt was a preservative in those days. It kept meat okay to eat for a long time. That's all they had. They didn't have refrigerations like we did. So I think salt can be taken historically in that sense of the word. As far as blessed are the poor in the spirit, for theirs is a kingdom of heaven. The poor in spirit, I think he means the broken down, the people that don't even have it in them to even pray. They were a people, these people were trampled and broken down. The Romans had control over them. So a lot of these blessings apply to their situation. The meek, the broken down, the ones that hunger and thirst for righteousness because they had none, they had nothing, no rights, they were always under control. In literary world, a lot of this is, when I read it over and over, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Mourning means just not crying over a death. It means mourning for your situation, mourning for your life, mourning for a change. Blessed when the people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. The way they were in the way they were for the prophets, basically. This is literary. If we follow Jesus in this day, basically any day, literally, we are subject to persecution. We're made fun of, we're Bible bumpers, we're preaching, we're doing this, we're do that. I think people in all times were persecuted for their beliefs, especially if they believed in Jesus. These days, it's money, it's making money, it's Wall Street, it's the stocks, it's all that stuff. They don't even pray in school anymore. So they're not allowed to. And if we think that that's wrong and we want our children to do that, we're thought of as being strange. What has happened to that? What has happened to us? Contemporary world, I think it's the same thing. This all applies to the poor in spirit, which we still have. The ones who mourn, the meek, people that would rather give than receive, the pure in heart, people that do everything out of action that is pure, not just saying they are pure, but people that actually show you from their heart that they're sincere and they mean what they do. Let's see, salt of the earth. As far as contemporary, if you've ever heard someone say he's the salt of the earth, well, if we lose that salt of the earth, which makes us, we have lost a lot of ourselves, because that's kind of a basic thing. It preserves us, it makes us tasteful, it makes us all the things salt's supposed to do, but for the soul, not for basically meat. We are the salt, is what he's saying. We are the salt of the earth. And if we lose him, if we lose Jesus, that goes away. And we have to try to get it back so we can go to the kingdom of heaven. I hope I covered it. I think I did. I'm not sure. I had trouble with the historical world, except it just applies to then and now, the salt part, and the way he taught. So thanks for listening, and everybody have a happy Halloween.